Hey everybody, and welcome back again to another episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show. This is a weekly live beer review show that we do every Thursday night here at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and
I think that's it.
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
And technically our website. You can watch it on our website, but that is also technically YouTube.
That makes sense.
But then you can't communicate with us.
Correct.
So you might as well just go to YouTube.
Yeah, you might as well just not even just get out of here. But as always, if you would make sure that you click the subscribe and like button, make sure you share it with your other friends who might enjoy a beer show as well, or might hate it. You know, I'll take any feedback I can get at this point.
Have them comment along.
True story.
We're not going to get better if someone doesn't tell us how much we suck.
Oh God, could you imagine?
How am I supposed to improve? I don't know where I'm doing a terrible job.
This isn't work. Let's just do it.
Make constructive criticism here.
Well, I'll take care of that. But as always, make sure you follow us on all the different social medias. I mean, we're Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you follow along with us on any of our beer drops, Tavor. We use a bunch of different subscription services. We also use Untapped here on the show. If you're not familiar with that, it's a social drinking app where you can check beer in, you can rate beer, you can find out more, you can follow your favorite breweries, you can follow your friends, find out where they're drinking beer, find out how early we drink beer. There's a litany of things you can find out on it, some scarier than others. But down in the About section has all the information on the subscription services we use, our individual Untapped handles, our show Untapped handle. So make sure you follow along with us everywhere and have some beer with us. But as always, I'm Daniel. This is Tiffany, and Phil's still a hostage.
You know what? I think I've had more backgrounds on this show than there are shows. Like
this is true.
I am always somewhere different.
Guess who just jumped into this?
Whoa!
Lauren Nelson, how are you?
Blake and Lauren, welcome.
All right, sorry, Phil. Where are you? Where the hell are you?
I wish I knew. I don't know where I am anymore. But in reality, I am in a place called Reading, Massachusetts right now. It's a small town north of Boston. It's actually spelled reading, but it's Massachusetts. So
makes sense. I assume that's
Reading.
where Reddit started.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Facts, people.
But yeah, this is kind of my hometown area. So I'm here. I was here for Thanksgiving, kind of stuck around a little bit before I come see you guys.
Nice.
Tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, for those of you who don't stalk us, Phil is coming to stay with us over the weekend. So make sure you follow along on our Untapped, our Instagram.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shit show this weekend.
We took time off
Yeah.
on a 4-day weekend. Daniel apparently has a 5-day weekend, but we did not coordinate that. So
I got to take Phil to the airport.
yeah, but I mean that's in the morning.
Early.
It's important.
Jackass would get a 7 a.m. flight.
Not a lot of flights from Boston to Richmond.
Not a lot of flights.
Not a lot of options.
That's funny. So how was your Thanksgiving now?
I know. I haven't seen you guys in 2 weeks because I missed the Week in Pickle that episode, which I was so sad about.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was in the car and I was able to at least watch it,
Which is fun.
And then we had our Thanksgiving, which we took the week off, and I literally don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know how this show works. I clearly don't know how cameras and backgrounds work and what looks good. I'm currently standing for this entire freaking show, so things are really off for me at the moment.
I love that you're just maybe trying to get healthy. Like, I got a standing desk.
Yeah.
No. Nope, just not a lot of options. So standing is it.
I love it.
It's the new sitting.
No, I think. Okay, sure.
Yep.
I don't think that's the saying.
It's sitting is the new smoking.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's it.
Yeah, that's the same. Also, the fact that the ceilings are really low
I know.
makes you look like a giant.
Maybe I just am a giant.
I feel like I've seen you in person like a few times, and you were not a giant.
I'm in crawl spaces all day, and that low ceiling would terrify the hell out of me.
I mean, the tight T-shirt says I'm a giant, so I can't even find T-shirts that fit.
Or it's a medium.
Yeah,
Gotta stay out of the child's section, man.
sometimes you don't have options. Okay.
This is true. This is true. So did you do anything big for Thanksgiving? I mean, just family, friends?
Yeah, just the usual. I actually ended up drinking beer alone in my park, my hometown park for Thanksgiving, which was perfect.
So
But-
just like normal.
Yeah, just a normal Thursday for me.
God, that was depressing. Well,
I wish it was a joke. But yeah, no, we when I was traveling for the pickle episode, we were driving to Palm Springs from California because we were going to Texas, and then I was flying out here. But yeah, if you're wondering why I'm wearing such a tight T-shirt, it's because all of our luggage was stolen on our first night.
Welcome to Palm Springs.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's time of
Things,
year.
things are going well, so I just had to run into Target and just grab a 5 of T-shirts, and I went, sure, this works. And I've had time to buy more clothes, but I just haven't. So
But when you get that Target fit, sometimes you don't go back.
no. So
I
I've
just
been
love the
wearing
idea
black
you're going to show up
T-shirts.
here for like 5 days worth of time and have 3 shirts. We're going to do your laundry twice while you're here.
Yeah, I'm not. That's absolutely true, 100%.
It's fantastic.
So things are going great right now.
Seems like it.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
any of our local breweries, if you're watching, send shirts for Phil.
Phil will be in town. We will be
Yeah.
shirt shopping in your tap room.
Yeah.
Yep, we're switching from hats to shirts this week.
Yes, send hats.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
That was pretty easy, actually.
I got to see my family who I haven't seen in like 2 years due to pandemic and ages. Like the age range is just so vast.
Yeah.
That we waited. So that was really nice. Remembered where the competitive gene came from because I was basically real angry at my great uncle who's in his 80s and was cheating at cornhole. And then he was like, no one else has seen Tiffany. And you tried to point it out twice and everyone's just too busy. So I'm winning. And I was like, old man. But I do love him.
yeah.
How do you get cornhole?
Yeah, man, he was beyond the board. He was like,
You can't go past the line.
And he
just
was
like
like-
bowling.
he's like, oh, but you let your kid go behind.
You try to blame it on like an 11-year-old.
And I was like, she can't throw like underhand with these.
So it was a blast.
I would think so. It sounds
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun.
And then we were at a brewery all day Saturday, and then we went and visited my family here locally as well on Sunday.
Yep.
So
nice.
This weekend,
yeah. Couple of beers.
Yep.
A few.
Just a few.
painted a bathroom.
Painted a
over that week.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Phil's coming to town. We got to remodel the house in 24 hours.
It's true. You do.
He has really high expectations, obviously, based on the room he's in.
So true.
Oh,
We'll have furniture in the room, Phil. It's going to be a
Oh.
drastic change.
it's gonna be weird. I like my rooms like I like my prisons.
Yeah.
It's just empty and
Full of dudes and no furniture.
I love that I'm standing because I have to fall over.
Yeah. No one's
Okay.
going to
Doing
fault
some
you if you're doing
stretches.
some stretching during the show. That's fine.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, let's get to it. What the hell are we doing today?
No
I have
drinking
no
of you.
idea.
I
Anyone
know. Somebody's got to know the name of this beer, though.
We
This
are
beer.
drinking One Night with Nora from Paperback Brewing, and they are out of LA.
Nice.
Yeah, specifically,
Paperback
I think
Brewing
they're out
is
of
hard to
Glendale.
say. Glendale. Yeah, that's right.
Paperback Brewing, that's hard.
Yeah, Paperback Brew. It has a lot of
Paperback
Paperback
Brewing.
P's
Yeah.
and B's in it, and it's a lot of
Stop
stop
plosives.
plosives in there.
Now, this is one that I sent from the west side, and I was trying
Please
to get
don't
us.
say it like that.
West
Like what?
Side.
Was that not cool? West Side?
No.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
No, that hurt.
It's like the Family Guy where he's like, say Mickey D's instead of McDonald's. Makes
Cool.
all middle-aged women laugh.
And I think you guys know why I sent you this one, right?
Because
You have any
there's a
idea?
leg in it.
Yeah, of course. It's
Yeah.
can art. Can art's
I
fantastic.
know. Like when I went
You
on their
know how
website,
I pick my beers. It's just based off looks, nothing else.
Yeah. I kind of assumed you didn't even know what style of beer it was until like 2 weeks after you had it.
So many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do them myself.
Well, I will say we're a very IPA heavy show, as the entire industry is a very high IPA heavy industry right now. So I was trying to find non-IPAs, and then I saw the can. And so here we are. We're doing a blonde ale.
Yep. Which is never a bad option. Most blonde ales are pretty drinkable, pretty smooth, pretty easy. So I'm looking forward to it to see if it's something different than out of the normalcy of a blonde ale, or if it's just can art.
Yeah. Well, let's find out.
I dare you.
All right.
All right, what?
I don't know. I'm hearing my own voice. This technology's great.
Oh, God.
It's almost like we need to learn the history and facts of technology. That's all I got.
Wait.
I was trying
I know. It wasn't
some
gonna
sort
happen.
of like, let's feed into this, and
I've been gone for 2 weeks. I don't know how to do this anymore.
It's been good forever, so
we're just starting over. This is episode 1A now.
For the first time. This is the part of the show where we typically go through a little bit of history, either about the brewery, some facts about the brewery, maybe about the beer specifically, the people involved, a litany of different options. Excuse me. So this is Tiffany's portion of the show because she can read.
I can.
Helpful.
I can read.
If she doesn't read it out loud to me, boy, this show would be over with quick. So
and everyone watching can play along and answer the questions in the comments, which is fantastic.
Correct.
True story. If you're logged in and watching along, make sure you comment along. There's a little bit of a delay, so we usually try to give it a second or two. Or if you don't feel like playing trivia because you're an asshole, tell us what beer you're drinking.
Yes.
Let's do
Or
it.
if you're not one too.
All right. First question, true or false? The owners met online via interoffice email.
Interoffice email being they work in the same building.
Or the same company.
Or at least within the same company.
They would have the same at whatever company.com, in theory.
At Grindr.
But yeah,
Hotmail.
I don't know.
That's how Daniel and I met.
I love our story though. Yeah, we went to school together. It's getting to be believable.
Almost. We never named the school.
I like the idea of this one. I think that would be funny. Like they worked somewhere in close proximity. Like I like the idea they're in an office together, like 2 cubicles over. We're like, oh hey, beer drinker 45. You know.
I'm assuming it was their names in the email, but that's fine.
We don't know. Maybe they were talking back then with.
Maybe it's like one of those reply alls where it's like, please stop. And you've got like 8 people.
I'm gonna go with true. That seems to be the general consensus. That's where I was leaning anyway.
I'm going with true as well.
Okay. And
it is true.
Nice.
So they met in 2013 with an interoffice email exchange. They were strangers. They did not know each other. And once they kind of met face to face, they really hit it off and realized that they had a lot in common, and beer was one of them.
What started it though, if it wasn't beer? Like I can't imagine like an inter-office interaction with like another dude.
I assume it was the reply all.
Like, do you think so?
Oh, that is a thing. That is a thing, and it is the worst. And like the amount of people that like are like, oh my god, please stop. Like you can then like be like, oh my gosh, right? And then you guys can go back and forth and banter about it for a minute, and then I don't know.
All right, Vero, if you're drinking a different blonde ale, which one are you drinking?
You can't just throw that out there.
Yeah.
For the record, great. What is it?
What's its nombre?
What kind of blonde ale is it?
I mean, it could just be a blonde ale.
I mean, she said a different blonde ale. Like maybe it's a
faux pass. That's fantastic. Clever name. I hope the can art matches it.
That's a good one.
All right. Next question.
Roll the tape.
Roll tape.
What was the name of the original garage brewery where many of the beer recipes were started? Like their original, like
Where
let's
they first
try
started
this.
brewing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
You gonna give me the?
Oh, right. Sorry. I was reading
No,
Vero's.
I can't read.
I was reading Vero's response. I got distracted. A, Chris and Brandon's experimentation warehouse. Also, their names are Chris and Brandon.
Good to know.
B,
Like, what a weird name, Michael and Joe.
I forgot to mention that during question one. B, the lab. C, paperback brews. D, I'll have another. And E, it didn't have one. They just brewed beer together.
Oh. I mean,
I
if
wanted
you were
to
just
be-
brewing, would you name it?
Yeah, if it was just like you and your buddy, would you be like, oh? I mean, I could see it being like, we're gonna go to the lab, or yeah, I'll have another.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that it didn't have one.
And I'm going to go with the lab since Daniel just said that sentence.
Because I said that, or because Vero said it?
No, I didn't even see that yet.
There
Boom.
it is.
Also, Vero is drinking a hoppy blonde ale,
Yes.
and that's very exciting.
And
So I hope it's delicious.
Lauren Nelson likes D. There, you have it,
Of course
internet.
she does.
All right.
Don't I
The
know?
The answer is B, the lab.
Of course it is.
But it was essentially them tinkering with all the different beer recipes, trying to figure out kind of the ins and outs of like what flavors worked well together and just experimenting with small batches.
I again also like the idea that they've been bold-faced lying to their significant others for years that they're scientists. Well, me and Brandon are back to the lab tonight. Gotta finish this recipe, if you will. It's too complicated. I don't have time to explain it.
Yeah, you won't get it.
You won't get it. Not until they opened a brewery. We're like, that's the lab.
Then they come back from the lab and they're just hammered.
Yeah, like there's a lot of off gas in this study.
Bunsen burners.
Bunsen burners, you guys. They're just naming science equipment. Sounded like Beaker.
Okay. True or false? The beers produced at Paperback Brewing have names and can art inspired by Pulp Fiction illustrations, and each tells a story.
I mean,
based off this one alone, yeah.
I'm gonna go with yes. True. Yeah. I'm also concerned though that when I saw the can label and One Night with Nora and all that stuff, I was like, is this like a reference to something really specific that I just don't even know about? Like, is this like a play? Is this a book? Is this like, did I miss something?
So it is a book.
Is it?
Yes. You are correct in that thought process.
Remember I said earlier, not a reader?
Yeah.
For lack of comprehension purposes.
I will say I assumed when I saw it that it was a movie, because I think that's just where probably my brain goes first. But it just seemed like it looked like an old movie poster to me. I'm
okay with it. So it's got to be true then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. So hold on, I have to go to my notes on this one.
Oh, are we cracking this beer at this point?
Do not pour it.
I will do whatever I want.
This is because we're a little through trivia. We're going to start drinking the beer to get some flavors.
Yep. But anyway,
that's what I say.
all of their different cans have a reference to some sort of pop culture, music, books, something. So they've got other ones that are named like Bunny with a Chainsaw, Tucked In by Strangers, Road Rage on the 405. Anyway, bunch of fun names, bunch of can art. Their Instagram actually has a whole bunch of like their can art and stuff on there. So if you're interested, definitely go check out their Instagram.
They have a lot of it on their website as well.
Yeah. I've actually had Bunny with a Chainsaw.
Have you?
And I didn't know that they were connected because I bought it at Trader Joe's and I didn't think that. Like, I was getting, because I bought this one from somewhere kind of smaller, thinking I was getting something kind of like a microbrewery type thing. And then I went to Trader Joe's and I picked up a beer thinking it was not a microbrewery. So I don't know. So I did not put them together until I started
up or down.
I would say our Trader Joe's has some of our local breweries as well. So
yeah.
All right. Well, roll the next question. I'll let you drink if you want.
I got it.
I'll be honest. I think this is
The
gonna be
beer
the same
fruit-
question. Yep.
True or false?
There we go.
Nope. It's this one.
Just kidding. Question, whatever number this is. 4. During their pandemic pivot, Paperback Brewing canned and distributed their beers into how many stores? 180, 270, 340, or 400?
I'm going with C. First number jumped out at me, 340, because this is a crapshoot. Unless you're Vero and did the research on this.
I'm gonna go with B.
Well, you're obviously 100% wrong.
Yeah.
You never get these right, Phil.
So do you think their pandemic pivot was like when they had to start distributing in a different way because they couldn't do it? Do you think they maybe weren't even canning or weren't planning on canning?
That's most breweries. They either had the plan to do it. I mean, when we talked with Talea, she was mentioning that it was a plan that they had, and then they had to like quickly like accelerate the plan to get to that stage and then kind of keep moving.
Sure. Yeah, because depending on where you're at from a production standpoint, the canning machines are crazy expensive.
Yep.
They're complicated. It's different. I know at least in our area, there's other regulations on what you can and can't do with them. How you
Yeah.
gotta like.
And especially if you're transporting across state lines, there's different rules and regulations of what has to be on the can. So in some states, you need to have like the ABV or the IBUs or whatever. It's got to have all sorts of different stuff on it. So that's why a lot of states won't ship out, or a lot of breweries won't ship outside of their state lines.
Right. So what is the answer?
It's actually, so it's 400, but it's actually a little over 400, but I couldn't find anything other than over 400.
Well, so technically
Andy
and Vero were right. I think
Correct.
Andy went a cheap route here. And Vero was correct.
But yeah, so we mentioned that like we've seen them in Trader Joe's, or we haven't, but Phil has seen them in Trader Joe's. They actually have 188 different Trader Joe's locations, which I'm assuming is kind of like Southern California area. There's probably a lot of them. But yeah, they were just they offered to-go beers, and they started like distributing within like over 400 different stores. So
Nice.
very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big number.
Yeah.
Like even if you're
Like
just doing it
stores.
within, like, I mean, you could distribute to 400 stores in Southern California alone, but that's still a ton of stores.
Right. Well, then you have to
Yeah.
consider like if they weren't necessarily canning ahead of time, like that is an extreme amount of cans.
Yeah, that's 24/7 canning.
Yeah.
That is just
Yeah.
rolling them out.
That is a lot of canning.
I like it.
They may have also, because most of the places there that could produce that much and aren't canning already. Like I can't have to imagine it's a pretty big place.
It is actually,
And
and I was
suddenly to have like all of this beer that you were gonna like just give people in house. It's like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Like they had to have gone hard at stores to get rid of these things.
Yeah.
True.
So Paperback Brewing actually has a 6,000 square foot World War II era aircraft hangar.
Oh, nice.
So the tasting room is 1,600 square feet, and then they've got a 15-barrel brewing system, which is,
I mean,
like a normal size brewing. But I mean, if you're kicking them out, like I guess normal size. But anyway, they've got a huge space.
I mean, 6,000 square feet is not that big.
An aircraft hangar?
Yeah, 1,600 square feet for the tasting room is a house,
Yeah,
a standard house.
pretty big.
I mean, it's pretty big for like having a place in Glendale, California.
Sure.
too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Glendale.
in a major city to
Beautiful
have
this
that
time of
kind
year.
space.
What the snow
No, that's
and the
Burbank.
mountains.
That's Burbank. You're thinking of Burbank.
Burbank. Beautiful.
All right. True or false? Paperback Brewing's 1-year anniversary was actually their
What?
grand opening.
This doesn't make any sense. Who's Schrodinger's cat? What is happening here?
I mean, the only thing I could think of is that they were about to open when the pandemic hit and didn't.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be what would be the situation there. They didn't open to the public, but they probably started distributing. Maybe another reason for the push to get into stores, and a push for the pop can art like that, because you throw that into a Trader Joe's, some Idiot with a beard who normally drinks IPAs will find it.
I don't know who you're talking about. The bunny was so cute. It has a chainsaw.
Exactly. So yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with this being true.
Yeah, me too.
It is true.
Well, Vero thinks it might be true. 1. All right, that's all. Okay.
You don't want to know what true 2 is.
No, God. Ooh.
But yeah, it is true. They were supposed to open, the pandemic hit, so they had to do that pandemic pivot where they were just canning everything. So their first anniversary was really kind of a grand opening where they were able to start getting everyone in, and it was actually just July of this year.
Wow, that's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. That's I can imagine that from a business model standpoint of trying to open and then not being able to open and oh shit, where do we go from there?
Right?
I just could imagine like they've got all these things filled with beer and they're like, this is going to be the best. And then it's just like, you can't serve in here.
Right.
It's like,
Right. Well, so I assume if like their 1 year anniversary, whether it's the actual or like a roundabout number, like where it should be for
Sure.
when the grand opening was, like they were probably getting ready to open and probably like starting their brewing process in March, April timeframe. And then just fingers crossed it's gonna be over like they say it is,
Yeah.
and then just within a month being like, well, we've got to do something with this beer.
Well, this has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one normally complains about having too much beer, but I bet you there was a part of them that was like,
When it's your
no.
profit that's
Yeah.
just sitting there.
we might have too much beer.
Yeah.
I'd have taken a couple of home lease though. Like, oh, we can't open. I might as well fill this keg up. That's why I can't own a brewery, because that's what would happen.
Oh, did I answer this question?
Yes, you did.
Sort of.
Didn't mean
Maybe.
You didn't.
Trick question. Brett
Oh.
Halliday is not a person.
Yeah, that's
So
not a
One
name.
Night with Nora is named after a murder mystery by Brett Halliday in 1970.
It
It's
was
probably
named in 1970
1971.
or it was written in 19. This is all around a trick question.
Written.
So the book could have been written in 1970, but it was named after 1970.
No.
What?
I think you're.
God, this reading is getting harder and harder
This is why I
the
gotta
older I
read it
get.
out loud for you.
I'm going with true. I'm just gonna. I don't think that Tiffany got creative here.
Yeah, I don't know.
She thought we'd
Vera's
get
going
tricked.
with Hi Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not an answer.
Yeah, incorrect, Vero. Yeah, I don't know where you get tricky on this one, because obviously I didn't even know it was a book because I'm that well read outside of the only book, the Bible.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go with true.
Can't with you. Meanwhile, you got mad because there's the cover of one of your books was like off.
Yeah, somebody tore the front like cover off my Labette script. I was mad. Anyway,
Tiffany,
which is
true?
French for the bet.
Okay. It is false.
What?
Oh, where's the
See,
trickery?
that's what I'm saying. The book was written earlier, methinks.
It was written in 1960. So I was going down the trivia questions and every other one had been true so far. So I was like, well, I have really done a terrible job of making this difficult for people. So I decided to just change one little number.
I know you. Why don't I just think like this one is obviously tricky because Tiffany had made all the other ones true. So.
Because, I don't think you're thinking clearly with trivia on a regular basis.
Never. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Based on the history and facts, do you want to go to this brewery sometime? Is it appealing now?
I'd be up for it. I mean, any business that pushes through that. Yeah.
I want to see their airplane hangar from World War II.
That makes sense.
I mean, that right there alone. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
going to go out to Glendale the second I get back to, well, not the
Nice.
second. I'll probably wait a little bit. Let's be honest.
to drive from Burbank.
Gotta buy some new clothes.
Yeah, show up there in that shirt.
Or you could.
Yeah. I mean, it is LA. All right. Well, is this the point where we review the beer? I don't know. It's been a while.
I think, yeah, let's do that. That sounds nice.
Okay.
And since it's been a while for Phil, I'll take care of it.
Oh, good.
For those of you unfamiliar, this is the part of the show where we actually review the beer on Untapped individually, and then we give it a collective score on our shows Untapped. And tonight we are going to be reviewing One Night with Nora from Paperback Brewing out of Glendale, California. Beautiful.
It's One Night with Nora. She was the life and death of the party, or is it just One Night with Nora?
I mean, I think that's part of the story. I think if it was the beer, I'd just call it One Night with Nora.
That's like the subtext of like, she was the life and death of the party.
It's like when I'm like, hey, Tiffany, what's going on? You okay? Yeah. There's a lot of subtext there. And I think that's the One Night with Nora.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Nothing's wrong.
So speaking of Tiffany, what do you think of this beer?
So it is, for me, it is like a standard blonde. Oh, the reason he doesn't get the answer sheet is because he doesn't look at.
I don't even want to know the questions. I think it's more fun.
He doesn't look at the OneDrive that we share it all on. Yeah. And until recently, I didn't even have the research and trivia like notes published to the public OneDrive. It was on my personal one. So.
And
he also can't read.
Yeah.
So.
Goes a long ways for keeping me honest.
I was going to say there's like, the two authentication like factor he doesn't have access to.
And just generally can't read.
But the reading is the third level of the cybersecurity.
That's that meta authentication.
But no, so it is a really clean, really easy, like standard kind of sweet IPA, blonde ale. It's good. But it's nothing. It's nothing crazy. But at the same time, when I get a blonde ale, kind of like if I'm getting like a standard lager, I want it to just kind of taste like beer.
Yep.
And this does exactly that. So I don't know. Let's go with 3.75.
Caution to the wind.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm on a 4-day weekend, so fuck it.
I'll go because I'm standing and I can only do it for so long.
Sorry.
Give that boy something to do. He's standing. He's going to pass out.
Don't lock your knees.
So for me, I totally agree. I think it's just a standard solid blonde ale. No one's gonna hate the beer. No one's gonna be like I'm dying for more of these. But it's like if you feel like a blonde ale, this is perfect. If you just kind of feel like a beer, and I have to imagine that, knowing that they kind of had just opened, I have to imagine that this was like they wanted to have a bunch of different of kind of just standard styles of beers and kind of see where their audience takes them. Because then you can kind of get a little funky with things and you can kind of like go, oh, a lot of people seem to like this blonde ale. What can we do to change it up and make it another blonde ale or something different?
Right. Yeah. Which is usually what you get with like a lot of the standard beers. It's kind of like, well, let's zhuzh it up a little.
Do what?
Yeah.
Zhuzh it up.
Okay.
Zhuzh. That's a word.
Yeah.
So that's why I think like they just went for like a good blonde ale, and I think they nailed it. That being said, I'm not like, it doesn't excite me drinking it, so I'm gonna go 3.5. It's not doing much for me, I guess.
Fair.
But I don't want to say it's not, but it's good. So I don't want to, some of the personal stuff is coming into play, and that's bringing it down for me.
I can understand that. Yeah. And I think it's kind of the same. It's a little bit the same for me. Like from a blonde ale standpoint, just like both of you guys said, it's great. It's a blonde ale. It's perfect. If I'm out on the water, if I'm camping, if I'm day drinking, or this is a great beer. Goes
just
a long
another
way.
Tuesday for Daniel. All of those things.
Not all in the same day. No.
Also, it's a 5.1.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is very easy.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of the Untaps like to say, it's crushable. You can have 4 or 5 of these pretty easily, and they're extremely smooth. Yeah, from a blonde ale standpoint, it's great. It didn't change my life either. I don't know if that's the goal of it. But I'm going to give it a 3.5 as well.
Also, I'm really glad that Vero likes her beer. She gave the Hoppy Blonde a 3.75.
Hoppy blondes are good.
Yeah. So what does that put us at then?
3.5.
I think this is
Yeah.
3.5. All right.
I mean, you think that is? Are you blacking out?
You have to see my setup to understand how difficult this is for me tonight. I mean, I'm in a prison with 2 doors, so.
Well, make sure you take a picture of it before you break it all down.
I will. I'll put it on our Instagram. You guys should follow, and then you'll see it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we follow our own Oh, you're talking to okay. Sometimes it's hard to tell who you talk to.
So we gave One Night with Nora from Paperback. That is not easy to say.
Told you.
Paperback Brewing.
Got another one.
3.5. It's a good score. It's a good beer. Yep. If you see it at Trader Joe's, I'd pick it up.
Oh, absolutely, dude. For something that's in a Trader Joe's too, like hell yeah, throw it in the basket.
I'll have another.
Put it in my cart.
We do have a few Untapped reviews. Yes. So let's go through those.
I dare you.
Part where we go through Untapped and see what other people have been rating this and find out what they thought.
Okay.
So Helen says it's clean is the right word for this. It's refreshing, slightly bitter, but smooth and light.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a great way to describe it. Helen has what appears to be a very large thumb. I mean, that's a 16-ounce can. Whew. She treating that leg on the can like it's the leg lamp from A Christmas Story, too. Like, come on now.
All right. Oh, I don't even know why I bothered putting this up there.
Yeah.
I should have done something different. Let's see what Greg, the Seahawk fan, says.
Oh, my God.
To style, this is great. Bread yeast on the nose, touch of Riesling and sweetness leaves me salivating.
No, great. Other than the last part where he got really weird,
that was
the rest of it is extremely accurate and well, like from a beer standpoint, like absolutely.
I think the can was making him salivate because it's been a while for Greg because he's
if you're a Seahawks fan, yeah. Other than yourself, you don't get a lot of that time. No wonder I'm not friends with Greg J. Oh my God, we just watched Paranormal Caught on Camera. We got another one.
All right, listening to the Killers, 9 out of 10 with this beer.
Strike
4
one.
out of 10, but can 10 out of 10. It's out of 5. So John S. left it, and he's 14 out of 10.
What? These people are on fucking bath salts, dude. Between that, the picture, they're in the same room together talking to different people and responding. John S. isn't even a person.
Wait. So
I'm having difficulty because would you guys give listening to the Killers a 9 out of 10?
No, not even when the Killers came out.
But then you have the Killers, and then you're drinking this beer, and now it's worse. Like, or is the beer a 4 out of 10? I'm very confused.
But the can is 10 out of 10. Great.
Yeah.
But John left it, and he's 4. So she's a fan of John S.
She's a big fan of John S.
But she couldn't get anyone other than her cat to take the picture? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know.
This is the strangest damn... I think it's the strangest review we've had yet.
That's it. That's all I got. There was only 400 reviews.
End on Aaron. Aaron's a high note every time because she's high as a fucking kite. Okay.
All right.
Oh, wait, Lauren. Nice.
Cat riding a unicorn.
Wait, cat riding a unicorn.
I think we've had that.
Have we had that one?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds
that could be
familiar.
my fanny pack. Oh, no, yeah, that is a cat riding a unicorn. I have a fanny pack that Two Bear Tiffany purchased on Amazon, and it is a cat riding a unicorn with rainbows and space and a machine gun.
It's the most American thing ever.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
I think it may have an American flag as well. And
I
was like, this is obviously the thing I need to be wearing.
I also appreciate that Lauren picked up her beer based on the can art as well. So
yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Duh. Only nerds would drink beer because they think it might be good. Excuse
Ugh.
me.
Ugh.
All right.
All right,
What part of the show
we
is this?
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
This is part of the show that we wish were. Oh, jeez. You know, it's all the
This is
standing.
the part of the show where
I got no blood going to my head anymore. So.
Where we talk about things that may or may not be related to beer and things that we wish were beer from the week.
Or from life.
Right.
Or from 10 years ago. You pee in the slide one damn time. Right.
You keep bringing it up.
This is like the 5th show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
All
I
right.
got to do. That's why. Who wants to go first? This is always the one where everybody's like, yeah, why don't you go first, Phil? Because I haven't thought of one yet.
Let's just go in the same order we reviewed the beer in. That way we don't have to think about it.
Go ahead, Tiffany. Start us off on a high note.
She normally does.
So, all right. I try very hard to be as politically correct and welcoming of all viewers. However, this week, the Supreme Court has been reviewing a Mississippi case, and it is rough. So to try and tie this into beer and try not to get angry on live YouTube.
I can't wait to see how she connects this to beer.
No, so I wish this abortion case was beer, because I can or cannot drink a beer if I wish to do so. And Amy Coney Barrett doesn't tell me that, adoption exists, but we don't have any sort of infrastructure that supports women putting kids up for adoption. I'm done.
That is all.
I appreciate the way you spun that actually into the beer. Solid.
Thanks.
Solid this week.
So that's all I have to say on that.
Thanks, Forrest Gump. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. I wish that my luggage was beer because I have beer. And
that's it.
But not the beer that was in your luggage.
Nope, I don't have that beer. So that's fun. Yeah. So like I said earlier, like we're driving across the country, first night, luggage gone. I have to laugh about it because nothing important was lost. It's just besides the beer, which is very important, but like everything replaceable was lost. Nothing that was going to be like awful. So it's fun to laugh at now. But yeah, I had all the show beers for the next 3 weeks in that luggage. So thankfully we have Vero once again, who sent me this beer, which is why she is not drinking it tonight. But I wish that, and the other thing I just found out as I was doing my setup tonight is that my microphone was also in that luggage.
Nice.
Great.
Good. So we're both working off computer audio tonight. So I hope it sounds great.
Yeah. Whatever update went through Microsoft, because my one for work is also a USB mic, just stopped working as of yesterday, and this one wasn't working, so I blame Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do.
Curing malaria, but I can't get a USB microphone to work.
Daniel, what do you wish was beer?
Mine's really simple. I wish painting was beer, because then I would fucking enjoy it. I hate painting. So, Phil, when you get here, if you don't rant and rave about how good this bathroom looks, even though it's not completely finished, I'll be pissed off.
Also,
All right, I'll take note.
Thank you.
Pharaoh, taking one for the Wish You Were Beer team since March 2021. True story.
True story.
We made you watch the original pilot where we weren't even drinking the same beer. We were pretending to drink a beer.
True story.
We're trying to figure out where we should even be.
We're just lying about beer.
Lauren.
Does Lauren Nelson have a wish you were beer? Let's find out while we
Or what
close the
about-
show up.
What about Andy?
The Crawfords. I don't actually know if Katie changed her last name, so I apologize, Katie.
Yeah, that's kind of a rude assumption.
As soon as I said it, I realized that was.
She's her own person,
Literally.
Amy Cody Barrett.
Yeah, I know. Says the woman who will not be taking your name.
I know. Well, it could be worse. You could be like, take my name. I'd be like, oh, this is not good.
I did try that.
Let's be
actually.
honest.
I was
Both of you
like,
need to
back
take
in
my
the
name.
day.
Yeah.
Well, no. So back in the day, it wasn't the women always taking the men's name. It actually had to do with which family had the higher status.
Correct. So your family has a higher status, you think?
That's what she's saying.
You want to go
That's what
down
I
this
heard.
rabbit hole?
It is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Right
Love you,
now. No, I'm
Kelly.
just-
Love you, Kelly and Wayne.
Uh,
We have streets in Oakland named after us. So
Oh
We're
yes, we
pretty
all
much
heard
OG.
Tiffany. I still what Lauren said.
waking up every hour and a half to nurse her 6-month-old. That's what she wishes was beer.
oh
Sleep
my gosh,
deprivation.
I'm so sorry. It does get better, but then they talk back.
My last name is so much cooler, Katie. So Katie is telling Andy.
She's very wise.
Or he's at least typing what she's saying. I love it. We were at the wedding. We should know this, actually.
I just need to.
What?
Wise.
No, I don't think
Pretty
it's
sure. I'm not thinking. It, yeah, it is that
I just thought you were talking about the owl from the lollipop commercials.
one.
I assume he's very wise. He's an owl.
And that's why they go to him to find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of it.
Science.
They just did a study on that. I think it was like 300.
If you don't let Phil sit down soon, he's gonna die.
I'm sorry.
All right, what are we doing next
I'm
week?
like, please talk about the owl from 1992 some more. I know it was earlier than that. I think it's from the 70s. I just watched it in the 90s.
I love it. All right, what are we doing next week?
You should say more, Phil.
Somebody knows.
We are once again, because this was my batch, we're doing another beer from LA, but a little different, a little further outside. We are doing Pepper and Peaches from Claremont Craft Ales.
What kind of beer is that?
It's a great question. I don't even know.
I was gonna say, so when you gave us these beers, we haven't refrigerated them yet.
Hold on, I'll Google
We've been
it
holding
real
on
fast.
to them and then putting them in the fridge like in a week before the show, so to speak.
Maybe.
So I definitely don't know.
Oh, it's an IPA. It's an American
Okay.
IPA.
So
we're
for
going-
those of you, I would say for those of you who can't find this beer, bring an American IPA, so we're at least drinking the same style and can talk about it.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of an oxymoron though? American Indian Pale Ale?
It's the American version of it.
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring an IPA or whatever you want to bring, and tell us what you're drinking.
Sure.
I don't actually care
Do
what
you-
you're drinking. You drink whatever you want.
Do you think that this is going to taste like Pepper and Peaches?
So I like we've had quite a few different peppery beers
Yep.
that are fantastic.
Yeah.
The peaches with pepper.
Well,
It scares the
it's
hell out of
probably going to be like a more sweet, fruity with it's gonna be like your weird sweet and sour chicken. It's gonna have like a kick
No.
and a sweetness to it.
Sweet and pepper don't go. They don't go.
Sure they do.
I don't put pepper on pie.
You
That's
could.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think about Pepper and Peaches. Like
No.
that's.
I love pepper. I don't mind peaches, but the two
I'm not like, let me put some pepper on my peaches and then eat it.
exactly like, oh, watch out for that pit. It's got some pepper on it.
I put pepper on just about everything, so it's normal. Oh, pepper
So
like
that
the
should be a fun one.
veggie? No, I hope it's the spice. The veggie would be worse.
Yeah, I think the veggie would be worse. I
Oh,
hope it's just
yeah.
like a like
I
peppery.
think it's just like a spicy peach. Like you.
This is spicy peach. No, different. That's different. That's different.
It's like ghost pepper and peach salsa. I don't know. That's okay.
I mean, that is a thing.
Yeah.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
Well,
And that's
Tune in next week when Mario gives us his
Yeah.
review.
so that's a reason to come back next week and find out what this is, because I have no idea what to expect.
I like these odds.
Hey, I just want to quickly show if you've been with us long enough, you do know that we do have a video on our page where we reviewed a certain beer. I think we had 4 different flavors of said beer. And just to give everyone a little sneak peek of what have brought Daniel and Tiffany for tomorrow. You guys remember this beer?
Oh God!
Don't look at the other ones, but just look at this one.
Tune in this weekend when we have this one. After I assume we've had enough beers to convince ourselves that we should try it.
For those of you who don't remember, we tried the sour beers from Warheads. God, it's been probably 4 or 5 months ago.
Wasn't
maybe?
it like something craft brewery, and then it's the Warhead
Yeah,
it's
I don't know.
Artisanal craft, I think.
Artisanal.
But we had been drinking before we finally got to drinking that beer, and it was really terrible. The review was almost unusable because we were not in great shape already before that beer.
Had some red stains on the carpet I had to get out from the Warhead.
Well, now you can have the yellow ones from the Warhead beer and from me staying there. So this is going to be good. I'm excited to do an updated Warhead. Like, we got another one. When I saw that in the store, I died. And I'm like, here we go.
That's so funny.
We're doing it. Although we won't freeze it this time, I don't think. So.
Oh yeah, they were almost smoothies last time because of
They
that.
were like the ices. I couldn't pour them.
So also, I guess, keep a lookout on social and our YouTube, because that video is going to go up once we do it.
Correct. We'll put both of them up together so you can watch the first one and the second one back to back, like it's Lord of the Rings on Christmas.
Sounds perfect.
And also, honestly, Phil's going to be in town, so make sure you follow along on our Instagram. We'll probably throw some stuff up on the YouTube channel as well, but Instagram for sure. We're going to be hopefully reviewing a lot of beers / drinking a lot of beers. So make sure you follow along and check in with us.
And also, big news this week, we got 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel.
True story.
So we're basically famous.
YouTube's already reached out to us like, hey, Jake Paul's not fighting this weekend. Would one of y'all step in? I'm like, no.
No, we're not that. We're not like that.
Yeah, not my thing.
We just drink beer. So tell your friends to subscribe so we can get 200, because there's no way I know 200 people.
Yeah,
I don't know 100 people.
Do something pretty special when we hit the 200. You know?
I'll send you a video.
I thought that maybe between the three of us we could know 100 people. I thought maybe that was like a plausible number.
I'm in mid-30s. I don't know 100 people unless they're paying me to do work.
Well, the three of us, right?
So I know 3 people. So y'all know 97 people between the 2 of you.
Maybe. I don't know. I've lived in a lot of locations.
Look, if one of our 100 subscribers, every one of them invites one person, we'll hit it.
All right, so we're getting back to the church pyramid scheme again. Every one of you brings one person to Jesus. That's 100 people to Jesus.
Okay. Amy, call me favorite.
All right. Well, my legs are giving out, so
I love it. So that being said, we appreciate everybody following along. I appreciate everybody watching the pre-recorded Thanksgiving video from last week. That got a lot of views, which is funny.
And our blooper reel, we need to take that out and throw it on the Instagram.
Yeah. Don't you dare tell Vero that. She's gonna do it. She's gonna make me do it.
I know. But we really appreciate
everybody. Send it to me and I'll do it. Oh, sorry, what?
Really appreciate everybody tuning in for us so rudely interrupted. But no, thank you guys for stopping by. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share it with some of your friends. We're here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock, reviewing a different beer from a different brewery, and probably the same dick jokes, but still a lot of fun.
We don't make any dick jokes.
Oh, God, that was in my head. You're right. So come back, hang out with us again next week. Bring a few friends with you. Make sure you like and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram this weekend. Should be a blast. We'll see you guys next week.
I'll see you two tomorrow.
If you're lucky.